Yo, 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 welcome into another live edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. We are live on YouTube, just like we are every single Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. So no matter where you are, how you're watching, we greatly appreciate the Who Dat Nation for making us a part of their day. And if this is the first time you're tuning in, I encourage you not just to subscribe here to Saints Now by Chat Sports, but also throwing us a like here on today's video. That way YouTube can suggest more of our content and more Saints podcasts to your recommended feed. Now get in the comment section, Who Dat Nation. Type stay golden if you are excited about another live edition of the show. I see Jerry G. I see Mike Nintendo Master. Isaiah, my guy. Fist bump, Isaiah. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. It's been too long. Sup, Jerry from Isaiah. Colin. We got Harry. We got Jaden. We got Tev. We got Most Hated Bronze Flat Power God. Say that 10 times really fast. Chris, what's going on? Blaze, Kyron Talks, Kevin, Corner, Frank, Jerry G, Michael. Good to see each and every single one of you rocking and rolling with us on a Wednesday. 64 people hanging out with us. I want to give 64 shout-outs. So type stay golden in the comments. Cannon, Jaden, Kevin, Steven, Jay Rich, Jock Quill Preston, Jay Smooth, Carolyn, Roselle. Carolyn, good to see you. Jaden, good to see you. Jartavius, as always, it's a pleasure to see you, my friend. Devonta Carter, Kale, Perrette, or is it Kyle? Kyle, Tev, Blaze, Michael, Jerome, Bruce Broussard, good to see you, brother. Harry, Cannon, Larry, Isaiah, Althea, what's going on, Althea? Good to see you, girl. Hayden, Warren, welcome to the show. Welcome to the squad. We're going to be doing some pretty interesting stuff here today. We're going to talk about some minicamp news. We're going to talk about some NFL trade rumors. We got a lot to discuss here in our live show. It's going to be a really fun one, but I want to ask you about the trade rumors because we got a lot of minicamp stuff to discuss, but we're starting off here with first, do you want the Saints to make a trade? Type yes, type no in the comment section. Can you fix that? Do we have that in there? Can you fix that for the next one? The apostrophe? Before no? Yeah, you're good. Steven, Jerome, Curly, Kay, Isaiah. F the preseason rankings. I'm with you, Isaiah. Most Hated says no. Hayden says yes, trade Jake Haener. Kyron says no. Saku says nobody to trade for. Well, you can go get Trey Hendrickson. You can go get Jalen Ramsey, Tyreek Hill. You could go get Khalil Mack. TJ Watt's holding out. Micah Parsons at mandatory minicamp did not participate yesterday. Maybe that's a guy you go and target. So either way, long story short, do you want to trade for somebody? Do you want to trade somebody away? I want to hear from you. Jerry saying, I'm going to type, I don't know. Frank says, yes, trade players away to get some picks. Felix says, yes. Curly, yes. Harry says, trade Jake Haener. Gabe Davis or a CB for sure is at the right price. Isaiah, I like that idea in free agency. That could be a smart one. Also, Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen are still out there. Bruce says, I think that he's saying no. Kay Johnson, I want Trey Hendrickson. Jair Alexander, he's a free agent. You could just go up straight up and sign him. Jaden says nobody. Old Lopez, is there anybody you're interested in trading for potentially? Like, I know that the Saints have money to spend. I know that the Saints are not in the position to just be operating like they're ready to compete for a Super Bowl, but is there anybody you'd be willing to trade for or even trade away?
I'd love to get Trey Hendrickson back in the black and gold.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think it's going to happen?
No.
No. Do I think he'll make
would it be
Super
cool?
Bowl team? No, but I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. Two things can be true. It won't happen, but it would be sick.
It'd be awesome.
It'd be awesome. It'd be so cool.
I think that's 7 wins right there.
Right. I mean, it's 17 sacks last year, back-to-back seasons, 17 sacks. The Saints alone had 34, 39, I believe. So, like, he alone almost got half of the sack production that New Orleans had last year, which is insane if you ask me.
And imagine all the jersey swaps, all the edits we could make.
All the edits, dude. I wish we could have seen Trey Hendrickson in a Saints uniform before because I bet he'd look good in the black and gold.
I bet you he would look amazing.
I bet he would look really good. What do you think? What number do you think he'd wear? Like 91 or something?
I don't know. Maybe like a 92.
Maybe 92.
Honor Marcus Davenport.
A ton of passing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's 93 and it's Nathan Shepard. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Dave Gardner-Mata.
Exactly. That's so funny. Yeah, TJ Watt holding out at Steelers minicamp right now. Maybe that's an option, Isaiah. I see BLX Ziri saying trade Kool-Aid. That would be so stupid. Cannon saying trade Kool-Aid. I don't know where this idea of trade Kool-Aid McKinstry came from. That is atrocious. That is a horrible idea. And I'll explain why. One, you already have question marks in the cornerback room. If Kool-Aid McKinstry can be an answer in that cornerback room, you immediately make your life so much easier. Two, if you trade him away, then you're going to need 2 cornerbacks. And it's a lot easier needing only 1 cornerback on top of also needing potentially quarterback, potentially defensive line, wide receiver, maybe tight end, maybe safeties, maybe whatever. Like, I think that trading away Kool-Aid McKinstry is actually one of the dumbest ideas that the Saints could do.
Yeah, that would be taking like 5 steps backwards.
Yeah, not to mention you traded up to go and get him. So unless you were able to recoup that trade value at the bare minimum, that's what I would want. Absolutely not. Jerry, you don't need to time him out. You don't need to do that. You don't need to time him out for 24 hours. That was unnecessary, Jerry. Just because he had a bad idea doesn't mean you gotta ban him for a day.
Jerry just laid the fucking hammer.
Yeah, Jerry's laying down the hammer, I guess, but I mean, I wish there was a way I could undo that. I want to undo it because, like, why? No, why would we do that? Jerry, don't ban somebody just because you don't like their idea. Jerry, no, we're not doing that. Haynes saying, did I cut out or something? I don't know. It looks like our audio's good. Kyron, a bunch of people are laughing at it. Yeah, hey, it's funny. Jerry, don't be cutting people. You crack me up, man. You crack me up. All righty. Jerry, I know one thing you do. I know one thing you do hate, and I know one thing about you. You hate stupid trade ideas, and you hate the Atlanta Falcons. So if you're like my guy, Jerry G, like this video if you hate the Dirty Birds. And also, for what it's worth, if you want to get a shout-out, type 28-3 after you like the video, and we'll give you a little bit of love. Falcons, masters of blowing leads. They blow so much, you could call them Bonnie Blue. 28-3 in the Super Bowl. This past year, most recently, 4-game lead in the NFC South. Blew that. Hilarious. No, not even slightly. Had to know it was coming. Let's go. Slim. Let's get Mike T. That's funny. No, Jerry, I'm just totally, like, goofing around with you, man. Like, for real, though, don't just ban people willy-nilly. I'll let you know, but, like, or you'll know when you see it, but, you know.
You'll have an idea.
Yeah, just because they had an idea, you don't like. Have fun. I'm not mad at you, brother, but, you know. Don't get too ban happy, okay? I'll say that. Don't get too ban happy. Jerry saying 100%, I do not like the Atlanta Falcons. So if you are with Jerry G, we got to get to, we're at 74 people watching. Can we get to 40 likes? 32 people have liked the video already. Come on, like the video. Let's get to 40 likes right this second. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up icon. 74 people watching. I know all 74 of you hate the Falcons. So which one of you guys are going to show it? Which one of y'all hate them the most? Which one of y'all are the realest Saints fans? The real ones are subscribed, and they also like the video. Peter, what's going on, man? Blaze, good to see you. Isaiah, good to, no brace and walking on his own, hopefully sooner rather than later. More needs him. I agree. Are you talking Kellen Moore or Foster Moreau? Because yes to both. Jerry G is the realist for sure. Peter, what's up, brother? Good to see you, my friend. Steven Renshaw liked it. Sandra, good to see you, girl. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Kevin says, I hate the Dirty Birds. And we just got to 41 likes. Frank saying the Falcons don't deserve my time. Yeah, they don't deserve any sort of time. For what it's worth in terms of trading Taysom Hill, am I closed off to the idea? The fan in me says yes. But realistically, like, I just don't think that there is a market for Taysom Hill. One coach in the entire National Football League would trade for him. And at best, you get a 6th-round pick. Like, you're not getting anything. And don't think that he's going to do any favors for the Saints and offer more than that he should get. No, that's not what's going to happen here. So, I'm not really interested in moving off of Taysom Hill. I think he still has a role. And plus, like, God, it's our guy. It's our dog, you know? All righty, Saints fans. We're at 44 likes. I love to see it. I need you guys now to make sure you get some questions, some hot takes, some fire in the live chat. Use hashtag Saints or Super Chat if you want to get featured on the program. We're going to be doing a mailbag here at the end of our live show. I do got to roll out of the studio pretty quickly after we finish. Got a very important dinner. some of y'all remember a few weeks ago I had an important dinner. I have a follow-up dinner. I hope Maddie's not watching because this dinner is about something very expensive, something that's kind of round, and something that's very shiny and sparkly. So I have a very important dinner that I have to get to. I hope you guys can understand. I would not be able to have these kind of dinners if it wasn't for the support y'all have given me over the last 3 years here at Chat Sports, but here we are. So we're going to be rocking and rolling, but I need you guys to get your questions in ASAP. That way I can get out of here, and that way y'all can go back to your day, and that way Lopez can go drink a Four Loko or something. I don't know what he's doing on a Wednesday night. I have an important date with television and a Michelob. Oh, that's so good, man. That is so funny. That is so funny. David saying, man, I was supposed to go to the Saints practice today, but something came up. Do you think there'll be more practices open to the public? Yes, there will be training camps open to the public. The rest of minicamp should be open, right? Like, isn't it typically?
I know they don't open every day.
They don't open every day.
A lot of them, like the weekends, they do it.
Yes, and I do know training camp has quite a few. And that's honestly probably the more interesting stuff to go see
100%.
anyway. Like that's really what, like that's when things really going to start kind of ramping up and whatnot. So if you do want to go to something, I would highly recommend training camp. Daniel, she says, what if she says no, Trace? That won't happen. That one. If she says no, then I'm not getting on my knee anyway. Trust me, I've already filtered out all those people. Monty says, I too have an important date called cuddle my dog and sleep after the show. Hey, sounds like your date's a little bit more important than mine. My date's not that important. Mine's just a dinner. Yours has snuggles. Mine doesn't. Mine does not. Well, maybe it does lead to snuggles later, but not immediately. Not right after the show. Peter. He says, nah, Triz with the Riz. Yep, Riz face. There you go. Steven, good to see you, man. Moni, you're a legend, my friend. Queen Courtney, thank you for getting your question in. Courtney, yes, I'm trying to work on getting players on the show. If you have any players you specifically want me to hit up or want me to get interviewed, drop them in the comments. We're going to make sure we get that one in the mailbag too. All righty, Saints fans. Harry, why is Hainer still on the roster? Because the Saints don't have a quarterback, so got to have them all until you have none, or until you have one. Thank you, Frank. I really appreciate that. Not quite. I'm not proposing tonight. I want it very clear. I'm not proposing to my girlfriend tonight. It's coming. I can't say when, but later. But tonight is an important dinner with her aunt, who has been very helpful throughout this whole process early on in it, and now we're just continuing the process and moving forward with our lives and our relationship and everything. So, yeah, just wanted to kind of fill you guys in on what's going on in my personal life too. It's, I love talking Saints. I love talking with you guys, but y'all are also my friends. Y'all are my family, so I want to keep y'all in the loop of what we got going on. Lopez, any crazy stuff happening in your life right now? Anything wild outside of the new Loco flavors?
They got new ones?
No. I don't think they have new ones.
No, not wild.
No? Cool.
Just
Well,
chilling.
that's electric,
Just
man.
vibing.
That's electric, dude.
Just
Gotta
living
love that.
life.
Gotta love that. All righty. Saints fans, we're going to get after it. We're going to start talking about some minicamp news because I know that's what you guys are interested in. Who Dat Nation, let me take a quick sip of water. Lather the pipes, if you will. Without further ado, let's dive in to some New Orleans Saints minicamp news. What's happening, Saints fans? Welcome into another edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. If this is the first time you found one of our videos, I encourage you not just to subscribe to the channel, but also hit the thumbs up icon. That way YouTube knows that you're interested in Saints content, and that way you can find our podcast as well as others a little bit easier. We're going to dive into some minicamp news. We got injury updates. We got training camp or minicamp battle updates and all sorts of stuff to get to, but we're going to start off here on the injury front. We got some good news. Dallin Holker, he was seen participating today at minicamp after being sidelined during OTAs with a minor injury. So it's nice to see the tight end get back out on the field. I'm very high on this player. I think that he is a quality tight end out of Colorado State. The Saints brought him in as an undrafted free agent last year. They viewed him as an extra, like, 8th-round pick, if you will. And he did get a little bit of run last season after the tight end room was decimated by injuries, and it's still dealing with some of those injuries. So getting a player back like Dallin Holker certainly makes you feel a little bit better about the tight end room. But we're not done talking tight ends. We got to talk Taysom Hill, because yesterday he was present at practice. However, today he was not present. And for what it's worth, yesterday he wasn't doing any drills. He was just on the sideline, hanging out, watching. But from all the reports that I've seen today on July 11th at 4 p.m. Central Time, unless something changes after I push this video out or after we film this, he was not at practice. So it is worth knowing, or worth monitoring that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Again, Taysom Hill, he's a class act. He's a great football player. I'm not totally worried about whether or not he's around for mandatory minicamp, just being on the sideline. I think it's going to be fine. But in terms of an injury update around him, we talked about it yesterday. No big timelines on when he will be able to return, but he says he's feeling good. So we'll have to see when he can come back. Again, it's an ACL injury, knee injury, so we definitely don't want it to be rushed back. But in terms of Taysom Hill injury update, good, but not great, if you ask me. Jonas Senker, he also was not present today at practice, according to reports. For what it's worth, he did have a pretty solid day yesterday, picked off Spencer Rattler in 7-on-7 drills and had a really athletic play with it. So I'm not totally sure why Jonas Senker wasn't there. We will find out soon, but at the time of filming this video, he was not present, and I think that's something definitely to monitor. I'm really excited about the player Jonas Senker is, and I think that he can definitely provide a lot to the Saints defense. So hopefully it's nothing too crazy. Hopefully it's just a random attendance he's missing, and, you know, we don't have to really stress about this. Kool-Aid McKinstry, let's talk about him, because he actually had a really, really strong practice today. He had a really good day, and he's honestly been having a really nice summer thus far at OTAs and early stages of minicamp. The reports have all been very, very positive around him. Today, the Saints did a lot of red zone work, and he actually had back-to-back pass breakups during that portion of practice. He's been getting targeted a lot throughout the summer, so he's been getting a lot of work. He's been getting a lot of attention, and that only can mean good things for a player like Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'm very high on this player. Saints traded up in round 2 to go and get him, and some people in the live chat were saying that the Saints should try and trade Kool-Aid. I think that would be so stupid, and for what it's worth, I think if you can get Kool-Aid McKinstry to prove to be a great cornerback, you are set up for really, really good success, especially with Quincy Riley and Rico Payton and Alontae Taylor in the fold as well. I'm excited about this player. I really want him to work out here in New Orleans. So his development is something that I'm definitely monitoring, and how he's used in Brandon Staley's defense is, and how he looks in Brandon Staley's defense. I'm very eager to see it on Sundays. Now, coming up, we're going to talk about some position battles, because we got to talk about the quarterbacks. We haven't really talked in great detail about the QB position. So today we're going to get into the nitty-gritty around the quarterbacks and some other stuff. But really quickly, today's show would not be made possible if it weren't for our awesome friends over at Chubbies. I absolutely love Chubbies gear. I've been rocking their stuff since I was back in high school, through college, and now even in my early post-grad life. Summer's here, which means it's officially time to let the dogs out, and by dogs we mean legs. And if your pups have been stuck in jeans or sweats for the last few months, fellas, it's time to set them free with Chubbies shorts. Check out the Line Swim collection or the Chubbies original stretch shorts. Chubbies' biggest sale of the year is on, which means $45 bottoms, both shorts and swim trunks, and up to 65% off select gear. It's the perfect time to donate your decade-old shorts and refresh your drawer. Give your legs the summer they deserve. Life's too short for uncomfortable swim trunks, so these babies are set up for all-day comfort with the quick-dry stretch fabric and built-in liner that actually does its job. No more chafing, no more soggy butt, no more mesh disasters, and I told you about those stretch shorts. The original stretch shorts are second to none. Check out this video. I want you to see the flexibility I got here. I mean, first of all, the shirt looks great. The bend, the squat, hold on, the leap. look how good those chubby shorts look. I absolutely love mine, and you can get some too. Don't wait any longer. Click the link in the comments and description of this video. Go to chubbyshorts.com/chat. For a limited time, shop Chubby's biggest sale of the year for $45 shorts and up to 65% off select gear. Hit up chubbyshorts.com and grab your favorites before they're gone. And hey, if you missed the sale, don't sweat it. You can use our exclusive code CHAT, that's code CHAT, for $20 off. Support the show. Let them know we sent you when the survey asks. And get ready to turn some heads. Summer's here, squad. Dress like it in Chubbies. Alrighty. You know what gives me a chubby? Talking about the quarterback. That was bad. That was so bad. I tried to have some fun with it. I couldn't get through it. All right, we're talking quarterbacks because the quarterback battle, for what it's worth, I really do think either way, where the jury's going to be out for a while on whether or not these guys are great quarterbacks. But it is worth noting both these players, Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough, can absolutely spin the pill. These players have great arms. They have really, really nice deep balls, giggity. And honestly, I've been really impressed with the clips I've seen early in social media. I don't really care that some of these have gone out of bounds and stuff. Appreciate a nice throw. You can clean some of this stuff in training camp. It's June. Come on. We don't start at football until the fall, so it's okay. Ross Jackson reporting the best throw of minicamp today in day 2 came from Spencer Rattler on a great ball to Dante Pettis on a corner route. Really nice ball placement. Spencer Rattler needs to really prove and really dominate this quarterback battle if he wants to beat Tyler Shough, because I do believe Tyler Shough is the guy who Kellen Moore is looking to start week 1. But don't rule out Spencer Rattler. He's been impressive so far. He built a lot of momentum in OTAs, but so did Tyler Shough, and he's continued that momentum, and he's honestly starting to really look comfortable and starting to really show what he's capable of in New Orleans. It hasn't been a lot of big, deep tests. It hasn't been a ton of massive highlight type throws, but it's been very situational. It's been very important to see how the teams look and how they look in certain, I said situations already, but look how they look in situational football on 3rd and 3s and they need to get 4 yards. 1st and 10s, 4th and 1, in the goal line, or on the goal line, in the red zone. These are things they've been working for, and Tyler Shough's arm continues to stand out. Even in incomplete passes, he pushes the ball downfield with seemingly little effort. It is impressive. Ross Jackson saying it. I'm saying it too. I think that Tyler Shough thus far has been impressive, but don't go and run with this and say, oh my God, Trizzy Trace thinks Tyler Shough is going to win us a Super Bowl. That is not what I'm saying. In the early portions, he's looking solid. Still has a lot to prove, still has a lot to learn, but so far, I would say so good. The question now is who will take over and when? Because in my opinion, at training camp, the QB1 needs to be at least really, really separating themselves. And Kellen Moore has to have a strong sense of who he wants to be the starting quarterback. So again, my question is not only who will take over, but when. Because if you keep this quarterback battle, which for what it's worth will continue for a while, if you let this drag on too long, then you really run the risk of both players, you're not really getting the great development as a QB1 because they're not spending a lot of time with the first team. They're moving back and forth a bunch. So I want to see somebody take over, and I want to see it happen soon. And for what it's worth today, Tyler Shough and Spencer Rattler continue to be fairly even. They have been back and forth, been doing some really good things. And for what Kellen Moore is looking at in terms of how to separate these two guys, he's looking at execution and decision-making in certain situations. But in situations. So we'll have to see who decides to separate themselves. We'll have to see who decides to just take it upon themselves to be the starting quarterback. Because the splitting reps thing, I get it. I understand why you're doing it, but you can't continue to do this deep into the preseason. You got to have a strong sense of who your guy is, because then you can maximize training camp, you can maximize joint practices, you can maximize the preseason, you can maximize everything to truly benefit your team the most in the first year, and a very important year in an important time where the roster and the Saints are rebuilding. I think it's important for the New Orleans Saints to find their quarterback and let those two guys separate themselves. They're both still They're both still rotating with the first team, so none of them have really taken the reins yet. But in terms of when does the real battle start, I'm going to say training camp. I know I said I need Kellen Moore to have a strong sense. You can still have that strong sense, but the battle will truly begin when training camp gets going. That's when things really start picking up. That's when the steam really gets going. That's when the pressure is truly on, because then you also have joint practices with the Los Angeles Chargers, which could be greatly beneficial to this young quarterback group. So in terms of who will start week 1, I'm not totally sure who it'll be. My personal opinion, I'm leaning towards Tyler Shuck, but I also, like I said earlier, am going to say do not sleep on the Rattlesnake. Who do you think will be the starter week 1 under center for the black and gold? Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler, get in the comments, and I want you to type their initials down below. Let's talk kicker competition. Special teams, special plays, check. Shout out to Sketch. Kicker competition's been interesting. Day 1, we saw Blake Grupe go 6 for 6. He hit a long of 61 yards. Charlie Smith, he got some work. 5 for 6. He was good from 61 yards as well. And Nick Underhill saying that the 61-yarder that Charlie Smith made would have been good from 71 yards. Unbelievable. I said this in yesterday's video. I think the edge is with Blake Grupe because he spent more time playing American football. He's more familiar, and he's more polished in that regard. But Charlie Smith, man, the Irishman has a freaking cannon for a leg. So I think this is a real battle to watch. We'll see what happens. Maybe Kellen Moore decides to go with Charlie Smith over Blake Grupe, or maybe Blake Grupe runs it back. Both guys looking pretty solid early in minicamp. Aaron Summers adding this report. This is just hilarious. This is so damn funny. Got to just say, shout out to Kellen Moore for making Saints football fun. It just seems like they're having fun again. Justin Reed and Devon Godshaw, the safety and the defensive tackle, both Louisiana natives, lined up to kick field goals. For what it's worth, pretty funny. Justin Reed, he went 1 for 2. He made an extra point and then missed like a 40-something yarder, but barely missed it. Devon Godshaw, you see it, didn't really even get off the ground. They're having fun. I got to say shout out to Kellen Moore for giving this team some energy. Fun team-building stuff that you can just laugh about, have some camaraderie, and, end practice on a fun, positive note. I'll say this, the special teams battles are worth monitoring. Justin Reed, I don't think is really going to be getting real kicker reps. For what it's worth, though, he has kicked in the past. He has 16 kickoffs for over 1,000 yards. He's 1 for 2 in his career for extra points, I believe. And yeah, I think that that him just working out as the emergency kicker is hilarious. Maybe they use it. I doubt it, but maybe. I hope not. But not just the kicker battle, the punter battle is worth monitoring as well. Matthew Hayball and James Burnip, the Aussie punter out of Vanderbilt, Matthew Hayball, that was signed as a UDFA last year. James Burnip, the Aussie punter out of Alabama, they signed this year, who's huge, by the way. Both those guys are going at it. I'm excited to see how special teams shakes out. I know it's kind of crazy to say, but it is an important facet of the game. Final thoughts here. You can definitely tell there's a difference between Kellen Moore's team and previous coaches' teams. And specifically, I mean the Dennis Allen regime, because the Sean Payton and the end of the Sean Payton, I would say, end of the Sean Payton era, Dennis Allen era, it just wasn't amazing. It was fine. It was amazing, though. Kellen Moore's having fun with his team. He's participating in these team-building activities. He was out there playing paintball with the guys. They're doing fun things after practice. There's more energy. There's more speed. There's more team-building activities going on. They're playing a patient game of football, and the brand has been showing a very patient mindset as well. And what I mean by patient is they're not trying to fix all of their holes and fix all of their problems right now. They're not in a hurry trying, oh my God, we need a wide receiver. We need this, and we need that. They're not trying to panic and make a bunch of moves. They're being smart. They're letting the game come to them. They understand this is not a one-season rebuild. This is a multi-year thing, and they started this rebuild off pretty strongly, if you ask me. It felt like Dennis Allen was always rushing to put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound, whereas Kellen Moore, he's keeping it calm, cool, and collected. He's being methodical, and it feels like there is a reason and a method behind the madness for me. So in that regard, I'm excited that Kellen Moore is my head coach. He's been impressive so far. And honestly, just go watch him talk to media. Go listen to him when he first got hired versus now. He seems a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident behind the mic too, which is pretty cool. Must be watching some Saints Now by Chat Sports. Hope you guys are enjoying today's content. I hope you guys enjoy your evening. Without further ado, my name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. That right there is my guy, Loco Lopez. Be sure to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports, and y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time. Booyah. There's some content for you. There's one down the chamber. One. Now we have to go to number 2. All righty. Who do y'all think will start week 1? Courtney says Spencer Rattler. Kay Johnson, Spencer Rattler. Kentrell, Tyler Shuck. Kevin, Tyler Shuck. Kyron, Spencer Rattler. Jay, Tyler Shuck. Blaze, Tyler Shuck. Steven, Spencer Rattler.
I think right now I got to lean towards Spencer Rattler. I think Tyler Shuck will probably play more games, but I think week 1
could be Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, give Rattler. I don't want to say one more chance, but just
But give him those early set of games where the whole roster is taking a minute to get acclimated. Let him run with the backup, and then whenever the team is kind of clicking and kind of gets the ball rolling, they can throw Shuck in there. I don't disagree with that. I don't think that's a terrible idea. Plus, the last thing you want to do is just destroy a rookie quarterback's confidence.
Yeah, because after that, they're broken.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin his confidence the first 3 weeks. That's just not good. I see a bunch of people saying Spencer Rattler. Coolio. Alrighty, we're going to get into the next segment. We're going to do some trade rumors. Who's ready for some trade rumors? Who likes trade rumors?
I love
If you like trade rumors, type trade in the comment section. I got Spencer Rattler's autograph at the minicamp and also got Alontae Taylor. That's awesome, Chris. That's sick, man. So jealous. I wish I had Spencer Rattler and Alontae Taylor's autograph. That'd be so cool. So neat. Alrighty. Shuck the hell up. That is awesome. You could have done shut the shuck up. Or go shuck yourself. That's my favorite one. Shuck it. Degeneration, shuck it. Alrighty. Let's do it. No more beep bopping around. Let's roll. We're going to get into some trade rumors. Jerry G saying, get the shuck out of here. That's funny. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I want to actually take a quick look at something, Lopez. Oh, by the way, fun fact, Siaki Ika was waived by the Chiefs for what it's worth. Any of you guys care about that? And then I'm trying to see if there's any extra good juice here. Nothing crazy. All right. Cool. I just wanted to make sure I had the latest information for you. Who Dat Nation? Trade rumors coming at you in 3, 2, whenever Lopez is ready. Before we get into today's video, I want to ask you this question. Do you want the Saints to make a trade? Whether it's for a player, whether it's trading somebody away, I want to hear from you in the comment section. As for what we're talking about, we're going to talk about some trade rumors. Bleacher Report put out a really interesting article, and so I'm going to go through that article and find a few players that I think would be an interesting match in New Orleans. Starting off with the Chief, David Njoku, the tight end in the Cleveland Browns. First of all, this guy is a freaking dog. I want it on record. This dude is a freak of nature. He is a very, very good tight end in my opinion. He's had some ups and downs in terms of the availability with some injuries here and there, but I do think that he is a really nice player. He's entering the final year under contract in Cleveland, only 28 years old. Again, I talked about the injuries. He hasn't actually participated in a full season since his sophomore campaign in 2018. And the Browns did address the tight end room. Unlike the Saints, they did not add to the tight end room until Maliki Matavau in round 7. They drafted Harold Fannin Jr. out of Bowling Green, who I was really high on. Was it Bowling Green? Yeah, he's at Bowling Green. Yeah, because he stayed in orange and brown, or he was in orange and brown, stayed in orange and brown. Anyway, Harold Fannin Jr. was drafted in round 3 by the Cleveland Browns, so it begs the question, could David Njoku potentially get on the move? Now, fun fact, when I was out at Super Bowl Radio Row in New Orleans, I had the opportunity to talk with David Njoku. And right before I show you this clip, I want to add some context here. There was a stand out there giving out gumbo, little samples for the people who don't live in New Orleans. You get a taste of Louisiana, if you will. They had gumbo that was over potato salad. They had gumbo that was over rice. Fun fact, David Njoku loves gumbo. If you don't know what I mean, or if you're saying, Trizzy, what the hell are you talking about? Check this out.
David, what do we think of the gumbo?
Fire.
What'd you have, the rice or the potato salad?
Both of them. You sending me shit headed with fire.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Gumbo is fire. I tried the potato salad with the gumbo for the first time ever. I'm going to be honest, Lopez. It was good. It was a game changer. I've never had it before. I've always done it over rice. Over potato salad was pretty solid. Just going to put that out there. Anyway, let's get back to football here because the Saints tight end room, they are dealing with some injuries. So in terms of does this make sense? I think it could. And I think that David Njoku would be a very tantalizing player to put in the black and gold. Not only are we dealing with injuries for Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill, you also just got back Dallin Holker for the first time at minicamp. We saw him participating because he was sidelined with a minor injury during OTAs. So this is a beat-up tight end group. Juwan Johnson, I do have some high expectations and high hopes for. Foster Moreau, Kellen Moore has gone great lengths to commend him for his leadership. Taysom Hill, Kellen Moore said he will be a key part of the offense when he's available and when he's healthy. But Jack Stoll, Maliki Matavao, those were both players that the Saints brought in this offseason. Jack Stoll as a free agent, Maliki Matavao, a draft pick on day 3. Again, this is a beat-up tight end group. So when you go and talk about whether or not the Saints need a tight end, I think that they could use one. And to be honest, it just overall raises the talent level of the tight end group. And not to mention, Taysom Hill won't be available until late in the season anyway, and he's not a true tight end. He's a football player. He's an offensive weapon. He is Weapon X. I just don't think that it would be a bad idea to kick the tires on this. For what it's worth, David Njoku is an absolute dog. I know that we talked about the injury history. Do you guys remember when he burned his face and then played that same week? Unbelievable. I'm going to be honest. I don't care if they won or lost this game. I don't know. Maybe he didn't even have a single catch that game. I don't know. But I can tell you right now, he's an absolute dog. I can tell you right now, this is horrifying to look at. I can tell you right now, that man right there is somebody who I want on my roster because he's going to show up on game days. And over the course of his career, David Njoku has been fairly productive. Over 10 yards per catch every season except for 2024 over the last 4 years. 5 touchdowns in 24. 6 touchdowns in 23. 4 in 22 and 4 in 21, but he also had over 800 yards in 2023. I think that this is a player, if you scheme plays up for him and if you put him in Kellen Moore's offense, he can really, really thrive. I'm very high on David Njoku, and I think that this would make a lot of sense. But again, don't overpay for a player like David Njoku. You don't want to trade away the future just to go and get a guy who would be nice for a few years. And sure, he could be pretty productive for 3, 4, 5 years, but I also don't want to trade away prime assets for a player that isn't very young. 28, it's not old, but it's not young by any means. So I just think that that's something to monitor. I think that's something to discuss. And for what it's worth, I think that David Njoku, he would look sick in the black and gold. Are you kidding me? He would look good. Now coming up, we're going to talk more New Orleans Saints trade rumors. I got 2 more players, 1 offense, 1 defense. One's a big body wide receiver, so hang tight with me for just 1 second. But, guys, I need a little help. And by little help, I mean the most minuscule amount of help that I could possibly ask. $46,499. I need one of you. I just need one singular person to have my back on this. Who's got my back? Who's a diehard Saints fan? Who hates the Atlanta Falcons? If that describes you, subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. I need one of you. Come on, guys. Who's going to help me out? Subscribe for daily Saints content by Saints fans for Saints fans. Trade target number 2, Cortland Sutton, 6'4", 216 pounds. Lopez, did you know there is not a single wide receiver in New Orleans taller than 6'2"? It has been talked about quite a bit here on the channel. This player right here, Lopez, 6'4". That is bigger than 6'2". Is that a selling point enough for you? If not, let's keep it going. He, in my opinion, he would immediately improve the wide receiver group in New Orleans. And as to why he could be traded, he has yet to earn an extension from Denver. He's entering the final year of his contract. And so it may be the Denver Broncos are like, let's see what we can get for him. Maybe we can get a nice little return on a player like Courtland Sutton. And over the last 4 years, I mean, he's coming off his best season. Over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns in 2023, 10 touchdowns. That's unbelievable. I would love for Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler to have a player like this in the end zone, in the red zone. I think it would be extremely helpful if he was around to be a safety blanket and be just the guy say, F it, he's down there, he's tall, he can go get it. For what it's worth, he's just as tall as Juwan Johnson, who people have been saying could be that big body wide receiver that they're looking for. I do think that Courtland Sutton is an interesting option. I think that he's a player that could bring some juice to the wide receiver group. And for what it's worth, I think, honestly, I'd love to bring him in. I don't think you're going to have to trade away you're the kingdom. You're going to have to trade away a lot to get him. And I think that he would be a really, really good compliment to Chris Olave, to Rashid Shaheed, to Brandon Cooks, because he's just a different type of wide receiver. He's tall. He's bigger than them. I think that is a thing that the Saints are missing. And Bleacher Report even said if the Denver Broncos can't rekindle the magic of 2024, the team could become sellers ahead of the trade deadline. One candidate to be sent packing is Courtland Sutton, the polarizing wide receiver now entering the final year of his contract. Now, look, Courtland Sutton is not going to answer all your questions. He's not going to make your team a Super Bowl contender immediately. That being said, he will improve the offense, and he will help out in a passing offense that, quite frankly, last year was terrible, but new quarterback, new offensive mind running it. All of these things are different. So it's nice to see a player like Courtland Sutton potentially join the New Orleans Saints, but I just doubt he leaves Denver. I'm going to be honest, I just don't think he's going anywhere. I think it would be cool, but it takes two to tango. If Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos don't want to trade him, then they don't have to. If they do want to trade him, they can. And I would hope that the Saints would be one of those teams that come calling and come knocking on the door. So pay attention to the Denver Broncos during training camp in the preseason. Watch them over the first few weeks, and then let's see where they're at the trade deadline, and we'll kind of keep checking in on this idea because, again, I do think it makes sense. The wide receiver group in New Orleans, for what it's worth, I think is underrated. Lots of speed here. Lots of athleticism, lots of speed, great agility, very dynamic wide receiver group. However, you're missing size. Bub Means, one of the biggest receivers on the roster. Again, you do not have a player over 6'2", or he's the biggest player, biggest receivers on the roster. You do not have a player over 6'2" in the wide receiver depth chart. So, in my opinion, I think it makes sense. A lot of the wide receivers, for what it's worth, have said that they feel comfortable not having a big-bodied player like that. They actually feel comfortable rolling with what they got because of the ability that they have in terms of their speed. They're able to get open really easily. And Brandon Cooks even said it. I think he made a good point of you don't necessarily need to be more physical. Being a wide receiver is about just creating space. So if you can beat that man one-on-one, you're good. I don't necessarily disagree, but I also do think having some size over the middle would be very beneficial. Now, really quickly, we're going to keep this party going, but I need to tell you all about the clearance hoodies. Guys, they are almost gone. What are you doing? Quit waiting around. They're going to be gone before you know it. Lopez, I'd like to bet. I don't think there's going to be a lot of these left next week. I bet before Father's Day, by Father's Day, they are swiped. So if you guys want to get one of these, chatsports.com/Saints hoodie sale. These are the sideline hoodies that were worn by players, coaches, staff, personnel. If you want one of these, go get one with the link in the comments and description of this video, or just search chatsports.com/Saints hoodie sale. Let's go back to the defensive side of the football. I want to talk Khalil Mack. This is a player we've talked about here on the show. Not in a while, but we've done it a couple of times. I still think that he's an extremely impactful football player. I think that Khalil Mack has not shown hardly any signs of slowing down whatsoever. I mean, this is a really, really talented guy. He's a Pro Bowler selection each of the last 3 seasons. He had a career-high 17 sacks in 2023. Last year, only 6. But this is still a really, really nice football player. He signed a 1-year, $18 million extension in March with the Los Angeles Chargers. They really have liked what they got out of him. So I do think when it comes to trading for Khalil Mack, sure, maybe it's worth it. I also think that you should consider it. I think you should kick the tires. Just make a call. It doesn't mean you have to. Just See what's up. It's no question. The Saints pass rush last year was extremely underwhelming. They weren't good. I want to say it was like 34 or 39 sacks. They had less than 40 sacks last year. Not ideal. They were in the bottom half of the league in sack production. They had a lot of pressures. Did not have a lot of production, though. Yes, 39 sacks, 84 QB hits, tons of pressures, not much production. But for what it's worth, you did see some improvement over the last 5 games in the second half of the season. But you got to get better pass rush and better sack production than this. I mean, nothing against Brian Brzee. 7.5 sacks, I love it. Make that the number 2 or number 3 guy. Chase Young, I need more than 5.5. Carl Granderson, I need more than 5.5. Cam Jordan, I know you're old, man. 4 sacks, give me more than that. Alante Taylor, keep doing your thing, man. You're doing just fine. Keep playing your game, Alante. And of those of you are like, whoa, what the Saints gonna do? They can't afford these players. They don't have money. All right, first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, get your ass out from under a rock. Second of all, I'm going to tell you, make sure you're turned on your notifications because clearly you have not been paying attention to Saints football. And third, I'm going to tell you this right here. You have almost $30 million in cap space. $18 million on a guy who is 1 season removed from 17 sacks. Maybe. Not saying it's 100% worth it, but maybe. Or what about a player like Trey Hendrickson? Or what about a player like TJ Watt who's also holding out? Or what about any other pass rusher because the Saints need better pass rushers. They need better production out of the defensive line. And let's look at the stats from Khalil Mack. 6 sacks last year, 39 tackles. Again, 2023, one of his career best seasons, the best sack production he's ever had. This is a really interesting idea. He's been in the league since 2014. He is still a talented football player. I'm not saying go sell the farm. I'm not saying bank on this guy winning you a Super Bowl. But I am saying if you want to be competitive and if you think that maybe he's the missing piece, that could be a good move. Again, I should have started this whole video off by saying this up front. Said it kind of in the middle. Don't go sell the farm on this. Don't go and waste a bunch of future draft capital to potentially get a guy who maybe helps you out this year. Be sure in your moves. Be confident in the trades. Don't overpay. And maybe, just maybe, we can make something work out here. Do the Saints ultimately make a trade? I don't think so. But we're going to talk about it because in the offseason, every team, all 32 of them, are looking to improve every single day. And if the Saints can improve their roster by making a trade, then I'm going to discuss it. Now, what's the biggest position in need in New Orleans? Is it pass rusher? Is it cornerback? Is it quarterback? Is it running back? Wide receiver? Tight end? Should we just name all the positions? We could. What position is it? Because they need a lot. I want to hear from you in the comment section. Be the GM. Who Dat Nation, I really do appreciate y'all for tuning in to today's video. As always, I am your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. Some fun rumors content for you today. Coming up later this week, we're going to have a mailbag, live Q&A, and a lot of other fun stuff. So be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications for me, for my guy Loco Lopez. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time. Boom.
We're cooking right now.
We kind of are cooking right now. I'm going to be honest. This is super hot fire.
What's going on?
Raiders made a signing.
Oh. I can't go produce that.
Okay. So, what's the biggest position in need? Let's see here. Jerry G saying Trizzy Trace MVP. Yeah, latest NFL news. Jermaine Pratt, former Bengals linebacker, signed with the Raiders. It's a 1-year, $4.25 million deal. He could up to $500,000 in incentives. So, pretty cheap deal there for Jermaine Pratt, who's still a tackling machine for what it's worth. Still very, very good football player. Started all 17 games last year for Cleveland. Or Cincinnati, excuse me. Let's see it. Yeah, man, this is a shit show not having Jeremy here. I bet there's gonna be some discourse of nobody's allowed to do PTO anymore. No more PTO.
If you're important, you can't leave. You're here forever. I thought that was gonna happen at lunch today. Avery Love laid us on Gabe Davis. Has there been any news after his visit?
Huh? Who said that? Oh,
Avery
latest
Love,
on Gabe Davis?
Davis?
Nothing. I haven't heard anything. He's made a few visits, though. He visited with the 49ers. I think he also visited with the Steelers.
Yeah, he visited with the Steelers, too.
And he has visited with the Saints. There's one more team, I think.
Wasn't the Texans?
No, hold on. I have
I
a
wrote the
graphic.
doc
I have a
for it.
graphic of it. Let me
I wrote
find
the
it.
doc for it.
Let me find it. Hold on. So Gabe Davis has met with the New York Giants, San Francisco 49ers, Pittsburgh Steelers, and New Orleans Saints. He's met with 4 teams. I think it would be cool. I think it would be fun to get.
If healthy.
Yes, if healthy. It would be fun to get him because he would be that big-bodied receiver. But I also am not going to sit here and say go and do it. Jordan saying Nick Underhill said Rattler's the reading right now. I actually have seen the opposite. I looked at Underhill's stuff today saying that he thinks Shuck won the day. So I don't know where you saw that, Jordan, but I saw something different. And I'm pretty tapped in, I would say.
You're locked in.
I make it my business to know these things. Alrighty, mailbag coming up.
Yeah, be sure to get y'all's questions in. I know got a decent amount already, and some of them are actually
Yes,
pretty
we
good.
have gotten some good questions already. Jaden, I know you have a few questions in.
Yeah, let me scroll through Jaden's questions real quick, because he always has like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
so.
Jaden. I also love that Jaden's questions are, Trace, here's my question. Or, would you do this? Here's what I would do. Now, would you do it? I always love that it's like a sandwich of a question. It's always starts with, Trace, here's my question. Here's what I'm doing. And I'm going to follow up with it. It's awesome.
See, I like how he gives his perspective, though.
I know.
He lets us know
I
what
know.
he thinks. Jerry G is saying that it's his birthday on June 14th. So, what's that, Saturday? Happy early birthday, Jerry. I see that in one of the questions, but it's not a question. But I figure to tell you happy birthday.
Do I need? Should I put in there that like I also can't produce after this because I have a dinner I have to get to? They try to throw me on there. Like,
Did they say that?
well, no, but Sam saying I have family stuff tonight, so I have to leave by 5:15, which I feel him on that. But I'm in the same boat. So do I send something too? I feel like he hasn't. I feel like I'm not getting outed. So if they ask me out there, I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to do.
I think right now just kind of.
Yeah, I got
Let
in.
it sit.
I got in early so I could get out of here.
Hopefully, someone in the bullpen is like free and able.
Yeah, I sure hope somebody is. Alrighty. U.S. Champ saying thanks for always making work go by. Of course, my friend. Of course. Chad, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Hey, Pelican Dola from Blaze. Hey there, Blaze. Blaze, it's been a while, bro. It's been a while since you rocked and rolled with us. All right, we're going to get into a mailbag soon. Are we good on questions? Sick. All right. Let's get after it. Mailbag. You have questions. We have answers. Chubbies for this one again. Right? Yep. Kill!
Full chub on that.
All righty. Saints fans have questions. We have answers. Let's get after it. Cool. What are the plans for the New Orleans Saints moving forward? Well, that's a loaded question. What do you mean? What do you mean? What are the like offensively, defensively? Like, I would say the plans are start winning football games. I would say start off by winning more than 5 games. That's the first goal. You want to win more than 5 games. I think it's a good benchmark to set. So that's the plans moving forward. Win more than 5 games. Alrighty. And Avery, no, Zion cannot play tight end for the football season. Who Dat Nation? Let's get it. The Golden Gang has questions, and we have answers. Welcome into another live Q&A that we film every single Wednesday as a part of our weekly live shows. Be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, because me and Nick Lopez love chopping it up with the Who Dat Nation and with our subscribers, which we like to call the Golden Gang. Now, I want to challenge you here, guys, because our most liked video in the month of June so far has 642 thumbs ups. Can we beat it? Let's get to 650. I'm not asking you to change the world here, but let's go from 642 to 650. 8 more people. I need 8 more people to like today's video, then liked our most liked video this month. So if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up icon, and let's get this party started. Mike Nintendo Master, should the Saints consider a trade? No, for Kirk Cousins. I'm actually going to, Lopez, I got something to say. I don't want to trade for Kirk Cousins. I don't understand why that there's this narrative and this idea that trading for Kirk Cousins would be a good idea, because it wouldn't be. In the current situation that New Orleans is in, it would actually do more damage to trade for Kirk Cousins than good. It would be a PR disaster. You're better off rolling with Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck anyway. So I don't understand why fans in the National Football League, why media, like Bleacher Report, PFF, CBS, why journalists and stuff out there are saying the Saints should trade for Kirk Cousins. It would make so much sense. They don't have a good quarterback outside of Tyler Shuck or between Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler. It's like, sure. So we're going to improve our quarterback room by going and trading for a guy who can't play a full season, who's washed up, and is closer to 50 than he is 20. Yeah, no thank you. I'm good. I'll pass. No, thank you. Gardner Minshew, I actually could be interested in that one. Go get him for a super late round flyer. F it, why not? He'd at least bring some excitement to the team. And I'll never forget the Gardner Minshew story, Lopez, when he told us, or he talked, I think it was on Pardon My Take, he talked about how he broke his hand with a hammer after drinking a bunch of whiskey so he could, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember why he did it, but he intentionally broke his hand, which is hilarious. Lopez, what would you do here?
Obviously, we're not going to touch Kirk Cousins.
No.
Don't want it. Don't need it.
Nope.
Gardner Minshew, though. You want to talk about aura?
Oozing.
That's
He invented aura. For what it's worth, Lopez, he invented aura.
We might just need him for the social media aspect of this.
No doubt. I mean, well, because you lost Jamal Williams. You need somebody for the clips. Like that.
We need someone. We need a clickbait guy.
For sure. We need somebody who's going to drive clicks. We need somebody who's going to give the team and give the fan base something to watch on social media and whatnot. Mike, I appreciate the question. Gardner Minshew, I would be interested in for like a 7th round pick. I actually even said the Saints should consider signing him way back when, a few years ago, but that didn't happen. Big kick energy. What up, Blake Groupie? Would you rather sign Jair Alexander or Asante Samuel? Well, I'll ask you, Blake. What would you rather do? I think Jair Alexander, if you're going completely at both players are healthy, both players are 100% fine, I think Jair is the better football player, but I think Asante Samuel might be the better fit, and largely that is due to the familiarity he has with Brandon Staley. So I think, in my opinion, Asante Samuel Jr. might be a little bit cheaper, so I think I'm going to go with Asante Samuel. I know Jair is not going to command a lot, but I wouldn't mind a couple of years of Asante Samuel Jr. just being on the roster. I think that I like that idea. Jaden, what's going on, man? Always great questions from you. If dude, Arnold's got a VR headset out there. I'm sorry, I just got totally distracted. One of our graphics guys rocking a VR headset outside the studio. That's crazy. If you are the Saints, what would you do with the $29 million in salary cap space? I would save it for the 2026 offseason. What would you do with the money? I would add one more player, potentially 2, to some fairly good contracts. I would like to roll into next season with anywhere from $10 to $15 million to spend. That being said, maybe you sign somebody later on. Maybe you spend this money on a trade at the deadline. Maybe you hold on to this cash and just roll all of it over to next year, because that's a lot of money, and you are over the cap again next year. Personally, I would like to see the Saints go sign one of Jair Alexander or Asante Samuel Jr., one of Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper. I think that would be really fun. Or maybe you go and trade for an edge rusher or something like that. I think that could be pretty interesting. But I also am totally okay with just saving it for what it's worth. I think that's a very smart idea. Keith Mason, any news or updates on picking up Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen? Hey, that's a great segue there, Lopez. No updates there. I haven't seen anything in terms of what's going on with Keenan Allen. I haven't seen anything in terms of what's going on with Amari Cooper. Lopez, if you had to pick between one of these two, what would you do here?
I think I would have to lean more towards Keenan Allen. I know he's a little bit younger than Amari Cooper, and that's what a lot of this conversation is going to be about is what can you get at an older age?
Yeah, Keenan Allen, 33. Amari Cooper, 30 years old. Keenan Allen, 6'2". Amari Cooper, 6'1". It's apples or oranges. They're still pretty close, I'd say.
Yeah, but I think Keenan Allen kind of showed he can do more in the back end of his career. I think we've started seeing Amari Cooper, plummet. Keenan Allen hasn't fully plummeted yet.
Well, and I'll say this about Keenan Allen, too. He actually did have a really, really good year with Brandon Staley as his Brandon Staley was the head coach, but Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator in Los Angeles. So if you didn't know that, one of his best seasons of his production was with Kellen Moore as the play caller. So maybe that is worth something exploring because it could be interesting. Okay, question I have for you. Was the Carter 6 good or bad?
It was bad.
Did you or did you not like the Carter 6? Lopez thought it was bad. I also did not think it was a good album. I think it was terrible, but the replayability of it not there. It's not there. All right, hot take. Ooh, I love a hot take. Rashid Shaheed goes for over 1,000 yards. I've said this before, and I'll continue to say it. Rashid Shaheed is the most electric player in the National Football League when he has the football in his hands. I'm very excited about that player. I do think that he could do some really special things. Reports coming out of minicamp and OTAs, he looks bigger. He's excited. He's juiced for the year. So I think that this is going to be a fun year for Rashid Shaheed. Honestly, I don't even think we fully tapped into his potential. He really started growing and showing off truly what he could do. I mean, rookie season, second season, yes, there was a lot of versatility, a lot of big moments. But in my opinion, we really started seeing Rashid Shaheed kind of start taking form as not just as a kick returner, special teams guy, but as a receiver too. And then week 4 happened, and he gets hurt, and the muff punt happened, and even outside of the muff punt, he still had a pretty solid game, but just that kind of tainted the taste on it a little bit. So there is that. I'm excited for Rashid Shaheed. I think it could happen. What do you think? 1,000 yards? Yes or no? You know what I do think is Chubby shorts are the best thing in the whole wide world. I can tell you anything you want to know about Chubby shorts because I absolutely love this product. Not only would I be talking about them as a sponsor, I'd be talking about them just straight up because Chubby shorts has been a part of my wardrobe for years. In high school, college, post-grad, and even now, 26 years old, I'm still rocking Chubby's gear. They have grown up with me from the classic line shorts to the very comfortable, very just amazing, very creative, colorful, interesting pattern swimsuits. I mean, they're so amazing. The classic line swim trunks, the performance polo, the original stretch shorts, all of these are incredible products that I have in my wardrobe, and I have a lot of in my closet. Life's too short for uncomfortable swim trunks, so these babies are set up for all-day comfort with the quick dry stretch fabric and built-in liner that actually does its job. No more chafing, no more soggy butt, and no more mesh disasters. I want to tell you now really quickly about the original stretch shorts. They're comfy, they're casual, and they're built for life. These shorts can live on your legs. It's available in long, short, and waist short, and they come with a relaxed fit, elastic waistband, and no fuss design. You want to see how elastic that waistband is? You want to see how little fuss there is? Check out this clip right here. Alrighty, I'm looking dapper. I'm looking good. Shout out to the city of Dallas. Squat, no rips, no tears, full jump. That's at least a 60-inch vertical right there if you ask me. I'm telling you right now, Chubby shorts, not only do they look good, they make me feel good. So do not wait for a limited time. Shop Chubby's biggest sale of the year, $45 shorts, and up to 65% off select gear. The $45 bottoms are both shorts and swim trunks, and it's the biggest sale of the year, like I said. Hit up chubbyshorts.com and grab your favorites before they're gone. And guess what? If you miss the sale, no worries. You can use our exclusive code CHAT. That's CHAT for 20% off. Support the show. Let them know we sent you when the survey asks. And get ready to turn some heads. Summer's here. Dress like it in Chubbies. Click the link in the comments section or description of this video to get swagged out and upgrade your wardrobe. Keith Mason, he has a question about Nick Chubb. It's wild that Nick Chubb and J.K. Dobbins found new homes and we still have CEH. Yeah. We still do have CEH. Yes. Yes, we should look to upgrade. I always think you should look to upgrade. Let's go look at running backs in free agency. Hold on. I want to start off by saying first, I am hopeful for Devin Neal. I am hopeful for Kendre Miller. He has a clean slate going into this year, so I want to see him do something. In terms of running backs available, are you ready? Jamal Williams, who we cut. Gus Edwards, who's 30. Jeff Wilson, 29. Naheem Hines, 28. Amir Abdullah, 31, almost 32. Chase Edmonds, 29. Jermichael Hasty, 28. D'Ernest Johnson, 29. Cam Akers, who's currently on a tryout, 25. I think that's probably the best bet you have at upgrading at the running back room. Because after that, Dante Foreman, Mike Boone, Josh Kelly, John Kelly, Owen Wright. Yeah. I think you should look to upgrade, but I don't think there's a lot of options out there. Saku Rido. Did I get that right? I don't know if I got that right. Rido, yeah. Do you think Trevor Penning will work out at left guard? I actually do. I have high hopes for him. This is not the exact same coaching staff, but this is a similar-ish, like a couple of the key pieces there. From Philadelphia are now currently in New Orleans that moved over with Kellen Moore. They turned Mekhi Becton into an all-time left or tackle to now he had a phenomenal season at guard. Trevor Penning, I think, can do just that. He has embraced the move. All the reports about him have been very positive that he is doing well with it and stuff. So I do think that he'll work out. I sure hope he will, because if he doesn't, then what a waste of a pick that was, and how dumb were we for that one. But if he does work out, then hey, you're living pretty. All righty, Jello Shot Champs. Shout out to the College World Series. Shout out your college baseball team. If you're a college baseball fan, let me know. Lopez and a lot of y'all's LSU Tigers are taking on my Arkansas Razorbacks in Game 1 in Omaha.
Go Tigers.
Woo pig. I'm just saying.
That's an interesting looking profile picture. I can't tell what that is. Can you?
That? Who is that? Is that?
Is
that? Yeah, oh my God! Is that DVH? Is that Dave Van Horn?
That's Jay Johnson.
Oh my God! Is that?
I can tell that's Jay Johnson.
Is that Dave Van Horn? That's so funny.
I think it is.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Dave Van Horn's the baseball coach in Arkansas. Lopez, whoever this guy is, hilarious, dude. Just knows us too well.
That guy knows ball.
He knows ball, I guess. Can the Saints trade for Trey Hendrickson? The pass rush was bad. The pass rush was bad last year. They got a lot of pressures, 84 quarterback hits. They did not get a lot of production, though. Only 39 sacks. That was in the bottom half of the league. I would love to see Trey Hendrickson for the black and gold. I wish we could have seen him as a Saints player. I mean, could you imagine a player like Trey Hendrickson in the black and gold? I mean, for what it's worth also, could you imagine having a player like him and letting him go? Saints would never do that.
I don't even know what he would look like in the black.
I don't know either. I think he would look really good. I think he'd have aura.
I think he would look amazing, but I just can't see him.
I can't visualize Trey Hendrickson in the black and gold because we've never seen it.
No.
I also will say this. Shout out to our management and ownership, because there's just no way if we had a player like Trey Hendrickson, we'd fumble this situation like the Bengals.
Mickey Loomis would make sure
Mickey
he stays
Loomis
in the building.
would make sure he stays here his entire career, right? Of course.
Why wouldn't he?
Of course.
It's Mickey fucking Loomis.
Yeah, Mickey Loomis, the smartest GM in the league. Of course. That was it, for what it's worth. By the way, if you can't tell that was satire, I feel bad. Yeah, go outside. You should learn. The pass rush was horrible. I would love to bring back Trey Hendrickson, but my stance is not ever going to change on this. You're not in the position to win now, so don't make a win now move. If you want to go and get him and it actually isn't the worst trade value in the whole wide world and he can still be productive, sure. This is a guy coming off of back-to-back 17-sack seasons. That being said, you definitely need to be smart. I don't think that this is a trade that would make sense, but at the end of the day, it would be cool to right your wrongs. Now, if you are a real one, real ones are subscribed to Saints Now by Chat Sports. Real ones have their noties on. Real ones like the video, every video. So if you're a real one, if you're a real Saints fan, if you're a legend, if you walk around a little extra swagger, hold your head up a little higher, got a little extra gusto, more pep in your step, subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports, because that's all this channel is about. Being a real one, being a legend, and keeping it real. Who Dat Nation, I really appreciate you for rocking and rolling with us. We had a lot of fun answering your questions. If you missed it, that is totally fine. Just shoot me a DM on social media. The links are in the comments and description of this video. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time. Boom! What's the biggest position of need in Nolans? Okay. Okay. Keith Mason, ball knower. Yes, Big Easy believing. We are going young. That's literally what I said. Rate the Honey Badger, or rate Cam and the Honey Badger do hair. Honey Badger looks sick. He cut off the dreads. He's got the fade going. He looks good. He said that he wanted to shave some of the ears off, which is hilarious. I think Cam Jordan's hair is certainly interesting. He's a bleached blonde now.
I thought it was gray. Am I tripping?
It looks like
I thought it was gray.
It looks bleach blonde, dude, or gray. I don't know what it is, but it's like he went. I can't remember the name. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but he's doing like some Game of Thrones thing or something. Insane. I'm gonna be honest. It's wild, but
I guess it's a choice.
To each their own, man. I don't hate it. Cam Jordan's always been known to have some funny hairdos and some crazy mustaches and facial hair and stuff, so it's hilarious. Alrighty, No Love Matt, $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother.
Get it up right now.
No worries. It's from House of Dragons. Thank you, Sonia. For what it's worth, I want to remind y'all, we do have to hop on out of here pretty soon. I got a jet. I told Maddie I would be leaving the office no later than 5:30 because I have a very important dinner with one of her family members that I have to go and have some important conversations with. So, no, I will be getting out of here pretty soon, but No Love Matt. I went to Minicamp yesterday, and to me, Shuck looked better to me personally. Either way, may the best man win. Hey, I'm with you on that. And whoever looks good in Minicamp may not be the guy who looks good in training camp, may not be the guy who looks good at preseason, may not be the guy who looks good at joint practices, may not be the guy who looks good on Sundays. So this is a long conversation for what it's worth. About the quarterback position, we are far from being done with it. I think it's still a long conversation to have. Who do you think ultimately – well, you said earlier that you think Spencer Rattler starts week 1?
Yeah, I think he's week 1 guy.
I think it could happen. I definitely think it could happen. Alrighty, Saints fans, we are going to hop on out of here. I got to push out a video and then skirt so I can go get dinner. I really appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.